Hard way every time. Dale Ann Bradley, and I'm Kyle Cantrell. Dale Ann has joined me. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm tickled to death to be here.
Well, I'm tickled to death to see you, as always. Now, we got together just a few weeks ago with Sister Sadie.
We did.
That was fun.
We had a big time.
That was yeah. It almost got out of control a time or two.
That'll happen with that Sadie bunch.
But I said then that we talked about your new album coming out. I said then I wanted to have you back in and we could talk about your project. And I just enjoy getting to visit with you.
I do, you, Kyle. You're one of the nicest gentlemen I've ever met.
Well, you're very kind. You're one of the nicest ladies I've ever met
thank
too.
You.
And we always seem to have a really good time when you come up here. And we've been doing this for years, haven't we?
We sure have.
Just with just about every album you've done.
I was thinking about that on the way down here, and I think it has been, and I hope it continues because I do look forward to it. And I love to hear all the other artists that you have on there track by track. It really is it opens up bluegrass to people that may be listening, for the first time, and they get to know the artist as well as the music. And
well, that is sort of the idea. And if I have anything to do with it, we're going to keep doing these. So you and me anyway.
Okay.
We're gonna keep doing these. Hard Way Every Time. That is the sort of the title track to the album, right?
It is. It's the title of the album.
The album is simply called The Hard Way.
The Hard Way, yes. And I kept forgetting I would make a decision on it, but I couldn't remember whether I said The Hard Way or The Hard Way Every Time. So I kind of just let Pinecastle figure out which one they wanted, but I resemble that song.
You always done things the hard way?
I have.
Well, you and me both, I guess.
Oh.
But I like the way you've done it too. The song being called Hard Way Every Time and the album called The Hard Way, because it encompasses more, obviously, than just that one song. But that actually is an old song, right?
It is. It's a little bit of an obscure song from Jim Croce, which is just an artist that I so admire because so much of his stuff has been covered bluegrass, and he loved bluegrass.
Really?
A lot of those guys would hang out at his place in New York when he lived up there, and his songs have really been great contributions to our style of music.
Well, see, you're telling me something I didn't know. I didn't really know about the connection between Jim Croce and bluegrass. If any of our listeners are familiar with his music, he was sort of, would you say he's sort of in the folk acoustic sort of vein with the hits that he did?
I think then he was, and even if he was releasing stuff today, would be too. He was I guess a true Americana artist. He's the definition.
Wrote a lot of great songs.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course, big hits like "The Time in the Bottle" and "Bad Leroy Brown."
Any emotion you had, he covered.
He did. He covered a wide variety of them. Well, I'm glad that you did that song, and it is kind of an obscure one because I didn't know he had done that until you did it. So I'm glad you did that. Your friend Tina Adair was singing with you on that from Sister Sadie.
Yes, got to sing with Tina. That's always it's a very natural sound. We get tickled and we enjoy it so much because we'll be singing on stage, and any little improvising that one of us may want to do there at the second when you're fixing to sing a line, it may hit you to sing it this way. We kind of feel that the same way.
Yeah.
And it's a great feeling. She's a great friend and such a great singer and so helpful. So it's always a pleasure to work with her.
Well, not being in the same line of work as you are, I can only speak from observation, but I know that when you record with someone else, it's very important to have that kind of chemistry where you sort of anticipate each other and how you're going to phrase things and how long you're going to hold certain notes and things like that. And you two seem to have this telepathy thing going.
We do. I think when we've shared our life story, so much of it's been so familiar, and we've just I love all of the girls and they're so talented, but she's helped me on the last this will be the last 3 projects that she's been a big part of.
Smart lady, and
She
and
sure
very
is.
talented, and she's playing mandolin on this one as well.
Yeah, and some guitar too.
And some guitar, and she's got of course you've got a great cast of characters as musicians throughout this.
I've
Amazing
always
people.
been blessed that people would agree to be a part, and I never take that for granted.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, we'll mention some of them as we go along, and you feel free to bring up anybody that you want to point out on any of these songs. Folks, we're going to listen to all the songs on the album before we get done here today, and talk to Dale Ann about what she's been up to and about the album itself. So you just settle in and enjoy this time. We're going to have a good time. The next song is one of your originals, and I've always loved your songwriting. But I want to know, how did you come up with such a dark character as Emma Brown?
This is one of the funniest stories to me. My younger brother, there's 8 years difference in us, so he feels a lot like my son.
Yeah, okay.
Of course, my son's 31, but
well, you practically had to raise him, I'm sure.
I did, still do. No, I'm kidding. But he's got he always did have great ideas. Plays guitar, a little bass, sings. But I've always encouraged him. But he's real shy about that, Came in one day, I guess it was back not long before we recorded this album, and said, I am ready to write a song. I said, okay. I was doing dishes, and he came up with the Cold, Dark Hearted Emma Brown was what he wanted. Well, I couldn't get it in the song, but we co-wrote that together. It's his first writing adventure, and he's pretty proud of it, bless his heart.
So you ended up calling her Pretty Dark-Hearted.
Pretty Dark-Hearted, yeah.
Pretty Dark-Hearted Emma Brown. Well, let's give it a listen. Gina Britt, who's also from Sister Sadie, is going to be playing banjo on this, and I know folks are going to enjoy it. Pretty Dark-Hearted Emma Brown. Here's Dale Ann Bradley from her album The Hard Way on Bluegrass Junction.